Hello, UCAR. Peter Christensen here, coming to you from the CEO's desk. So we're going to continue on with our hypo madness. So another hypo for you. To the end of the year, we're just going to be doing hypos. So here it is. Buyer, seller are under contract. So already under contract, well on their way. Seller sends in an addendum a request to extend the settlement deadline. So wants to push settlement deadline back. The buyer marks counteroffer and says they would like $5,000 in closing costs to be covered by the seller. Seller gets back this, so now it's a counteroffer, right? Marked counteroffer, it comes back. So we're clear. Nothing's been accepted so far in this chain. The seller marks reject and sends back. So rejection. I don't know how often you use that one, but that's still one of the boxes, right? Rejection. Sends it back. And then the seller wants to send over another addendum, again requesting an extension of the settlement deadline. However, the listing agent is reading that language at the bottom of the blank addendum that says, all other terms of the REPSI, including all prior addenda and counteroffers not modified by this addendum, shall remain the same. So seller's a little worried now. What happens? We had the request. We had a counteroffer that asked for closing costs, and that was rejected. But now we want to ask again: is it pulling in those terms? And the short answer is no, it's not. What about that language? Well, it says that are not modified by this addendum, right? Well, they're not modifying those prior addenda because those prior addenda were rejected, right? The initial offer or ask for settlement deadline being moved and the counter offer of closing costs being covered, those were both rejected. So they were not agreed to. They're not a part of the contract. So even though now seller wants to start over again, which is what you would be doing, right? Once somebody marks rejected, then rejection, then it is saying, okay, those terms are not a part of the contract because we're saying no. We're starting a new concept now. Even if I'm asking for the same thing as a seller, I'm saying I would like to, again, ask that the settlement deadline be extended. I'm not bringing in anything that was rejected in that prior chain of addenda. Hopefully that makes sense. But the effect of rejecting an addendum is that it does not become a part of the contract. So even though that language says all other terms are not modified because they're not contradicted in this new addendum, well, you're not modifying it, and because it wasn't part of the offer, or so it wasn't part of the contract because it was rejected. So in essence, it doesn't matter if you're modifying it or not. It stays a part of the contract as a rejected concept. You said no. So you start new and you hopefully get an agreement to the next set of terms through the addenda and counters and however it goes. But you don't need to worry about those rejected changes. Even if there's 1, 2, 3 that are linked together through counter offers, once you hit reject and none of it was accepted, they all become one rejected concept, because they're all tied together. Let me know in the comments if I just confused you way more or if that makes sense. Remember, this is not legal advice. This is legal information only. If you need specific legal advice, please contact your attorney. Thanks for tuning in.